November 16th of the year 2020. My fellow Americans, I come to you this evening with great joy. We just experienced a wonderful week where in the political arena things have been unsettled, but things are looking much better. I'd like to say good evening to all my viewers, those of you who are watching here within the state of Florida, across the United States, and of course around the world. I've realized recently that the Robert Verney Show have reached the shores of UK, the likes of France. We thank you, those of you watching live, those who maybe see it on replay the next day, because right now in UK they 6 hours ahead of us. But with the change time, we'll be looking at 5 hours. But it is important to say good evening to all my viewers who are watching live. Again, as you know, if it's Monday, if it's 8 o'clock, it's a Robert Verney Show. Well, this evening we have a few things on the agenda that we'd like to go over, particularly the election result. As you know that as of this Saturday, the state of Georgia, the state of Pennsylvania, I've called the electorate, the 16th electoral, the 16th electoral college of Georgia goes to Mr. Biden, and also the state of Pennsylvania. The AP has confirmed it. Those 20 electoral college did go to Mr. Biden. So we could see there's a shift in these electoral. These are electoral college that been assigned to Mr. Biden for winning the state overall. We have some dispute going on, but then again, we need to stay focused. Again, at the Robert Verney Show, we're here to present you the fact as they've been presented. We're not here to sway anyone in any fashion, but we're here to present you the case as it is. And you, as the viewers of the Robert Verney Show, you can make an informative decision. Again, what we have on the agenda tonight is that Mr. Biden secured 306 electoral college, where Mr. Trump, who is the current occupant of the White House, has awarded 232 electoral college. So as you know, to win the presidency, you need 270 electoral college. Mr. Biden is well above the 270 required by the Board of Elections. He's at 306. This is the exact number that President Trump won in 2016 against Hillary Clinton. And so right now, the Trump administration is currently fighting those ballots in court, and they pulled some of them because they're laughable. Some judges did not think these claims are deemed the time, and we've seen a shift. But then again, America, you're here to see what's going on, and just be vigilant. Watch what's going on. It's very important that we keep a close eye on the result of what's been coming in. Now, another topic I wanted to, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. It's already been said also. Joe Biden has 306 and President Trump has 232. You do the math. All right. Thank you. Now, with regards to the Supreme Court, as you remember last week, we talked about the Supreme Court had on the docket. It was the day after, we said it would be a week after the election, which was the 10th, was 3/10. We had the Supreme Court has heard the argument from some states who felt like it is necessary that they remove the ACA, the Affordable Care Act. They wanted to dismantle this as a whole. As you know, the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, covers some 20 million Americans who with pre-existing condition. If you have a condition prior to getting insurance, you know how difficult it may be. Just think of it as you having your auto insurance. If If you are a careless driver, you, most likely your premium will go up. And then depending how serious your driving record is, some may not want to even quote you because you're too high. They won't even write you a policy. So the health insurance work the same way. The insurance business, they there to make money. If they know that you have a precondition uh, uh, illness that may cost them in the long run, they would rather say, you know, I'm not going to touch that individual with a 10-foot pole. So with the Affordable Care Act, it allows these individuals to go on the open market and then shop for insurance, and then there should be no discrimination. In other words, these people should be covered under the Affordable Care Act. So it's very important that we keep these things in mind, and I'm going to go back to put emphasis on how we vote, the people that we elect in office. So you would see there's a party who adamantly wants to get rid of it, and yet you want to see the other party who wants to make things better. Because as you know, in any institution, anything that you start something for the first time, it's not going to be perfect. So it's a work in progress. I could say the same thing when FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, in the 1930s, when with the Social Security. This was not popular. Some call it they call it socialism. But then again, at first it looked socialist. It looked like a socialist program. But until the work stopped putting into it, over time, and we are thankful that we have Social Security for those who are in the 62, 65. If you think about it, this is some kind of you have the government who's sending you a check. It has nothing to do with socialism, but at first that's what it looked like. I guess same thing could be said with the Affordable Care Act. They at the beginning they call it a government program who's gonna take over your health care. And remember that the health care is 1/6 of the American economy. Think about it, 1/6. That's a big chunk of the U.S. economy. So unless we take care of healthcare, we're in deep trouble. So that's the reason why you see some folks in Washington, they're putting the neck on the line to fight for this cause because it's adamant. I'm sure one of you may have a family member with precondition who may not be having coverage somewhere else. It is important that we keep these things intact because if God forbid something happened, you may have to take time off from work, or you become incapacitated. So think about it. You cannot do much. So it is important that we have insurance in place that will take care of an American. We have to take care of each other. I mean, we are a big family. So it is important. So far, the good news that comes out of the Supreme Court, although just so you hear me out here, no decision has been reached. So we're not going to get a decision on that case until June of next year. So stay tuned. Stay tuned to the Robert DuVernay Show. Subscribe, tell a friend. Hey, if you want a real important information that is relevant to the subject at hand, the only one place to stop is the Robert DuVernay Show. So we're here to give you unfiltered information on a regular basis. So as I was hearing the argument, you could see that those 9 justices, they what their vote, what the vote is, but you could the bright side of it was Brett Kavanaugh. I'm sure you all remember Brett Kavanaugh was recently confirmed right before Justice Barrett. He was the last one confirmed by this current Senate. There was a lot of tension, but then again, he raised the question: if the system wants to do away, I mean, if the Senate wants to do away with it, I mean, they could severe this language, but they're not in the position to actually get rid of it because they didn't write it. Think about it. So this is something that needs to go back to the court. This is very encouraging for the Affordable Care Act. Also, another conservative by the name of Justice, the Chief Justice, John Roberts, also had question to the attorney who was arguing the case before the Supreme Court, because he said, well, we're not here to this is not our job to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. We're in a position to do that. So if there's no tax, because what the Senate was arguing, the Republican Party, I'm not pointing fingers at them anyway, but what the proponent against the Affordable Care Act said, well, if it's no longer a tax, as you know that the what they did in recent months, they gutted it out, little piece by little piece, and eventually, as you know that the 2 years, the last 2 years, there's no penalty if you do not have the Affordable Care Act. There's no penalty. So if there's no penalty, what the opposing counsel is arguing is that then it should not be a law. So if there's no tax involved, so that should be taken apart. Well, I'm glad that Mr. Roberts made a great case. He said, well, he's not in a position, the Supreme Court is not in a position to get this brought. You guys need to go down there and figure things out. We're not here. We're not going to do the job for you. Do your job down there, which was very encouraging. So keep your finger crossed. I mean, we all for we have the three liberals on the Supreme Court panel, the likes of Kagan, Sotomayor, and the other justice who actually those three will definitely Kennedy. That's his name. Yeah, Kennedy. Those three automatically will go forward, and now you have the likes of John Roberts, the Chief Justice, and also Brett Kavanaugh, who's also shown support to keep this law intact. So I guess that's good news, and it's very encouraging. So stay tuned. Okay, well, I'd like to say good evening to some of you just locked in. The likes of Rachel from the great state of Florida here, Mr. Dilson Ambrose from down south here. Also, Dr. Azor from the great state of Georgia, who turned the state blue. As you can see, I still have some blue here somewhere. All right. So thank you. Yes, Justice Robert does follow the law. Yeah, which surprising you. No, actually, I think Justice Robert has been the grown-up in the room in recent years. He was the one who actually upheld it back in 2010 when it was presented before the Supreme Court to say, well, if there's a tax, if there's any state, so it can go on. So in other words, the government can actually implement that penalty because it's going to go over cross state line. I think Justice Roberts has been the grown-up in the room, and he sees justice as it's supposed to. He interprets the law as it should be. We're glad that we still have some who still use the good sense and the good judgment to uphold the value of the law that we consider so dear to us. All right, very good. All right, wow, I don't get a chance to even go on the topic. I'm getting a lot of questions right now. How does the transition unfold? Well, I'm going to get to this part. Hold on to your questions. I'm sure you guys are excited about transition. Transition is coming up. It's coming up. No worries, no worries. We're going to touch on that in just a few minutes. Another topic I'd like to touch with you this evening is President Obama remarks. I don't know if you get a chance to watch the 60 Minutes last night after the Dolphins beat the Chargers. It was a wonderful game. It was a great game, and then President Obama came right after that. You could see in President Obama a statement. He's a statement. This is one who served 2 terms under some tough time. I mean, we have the economy was losing 800,000 jobs a month. We have the auto bailout, and he had to deal with the Affordable Care Act and the bailout, the banks. So he had a lot on his plate. Yet he rise above the fray, and he delivered. So it's very important that we keep those in mind. He had a book that he recently written, which will coming out this week. Those of you who's into reading, who's on the holidays right on the corner, you may want to purchase a copy of this book. I'm not promoting his book, but then again, I'm sure most of you are into reading. So if you want to have a good reading, I think there's a guy that you can learn from a lot. His demeanor, his love of the country. I think you could definitely pick up his book and then share it with a friend, a family member over the holiday. I think it would be a great package. So President Obama is making things easy on you. Well, with regards to the state of the nation, the state of the union, President Obama have seen a polarized politics that we're having on both sides. This thing did not happen during the Trump administration. President Trump had tried his very best, but this is something that's been there for quite some time. You could recall during the President Obama and during giving an address to the Trent Chambers, I think in 2013, I believe, and there's a congressman who screamed out loud in the middle of the speech, "You lie." This is unheard. This is uncalled for. So we don't expect that from our elected officials. But again, we've seen a manifestation of the radical left, the far right. We wonder when we're going to come together as a nation and put our differences aside and work for the common good of the American people. I think we need to show civility to our youngsters. We need to aspire others to come into the political fray. And I think it's very important that we maintain that sense of country, a sense of statement. Being a statement is the fact that you hold an office, that you call it home. Not only you call it home, but this is what you represent. You represent not just yourself, your family, but you represent a state. And then if you're the president of the United States, you represent the country. And then this is not any country. This is the United States of America. Think about it. Think about it. So we need to hold our officials accountable. And then it should start with them. They are our leaders. We follow them. And we hope that they rise above the occasion. And President Obama have seen a toxic revelation on the part of the current administration, who would do anything against whatever he did in the past. So this is not the way that you run a country. This is not the best way moving forward, because when America wins, we all win. I mean, we're not doing ourselves a disservice by promoting an agenda or going along with what the previous administration have done. But then again, he really is still hopeful. He believes that the best in America is yet to uncovered. There's so much that we can do as a nation, and we just have to be patient and then help one another. Okay, very important. All right. Now, with the transition. All right. Now, the topic I'm jumping right now, just had a question. Someone has raised that question earlier. The transition is practically is not what we anticipated. As you know, once you declare the winner of an election, the current administration should be in a position to invite the incoming president-elect to the White House to have just a formal talk, and also begin the transition program. It's important that we keep those in mind. Sometime I could use this analogy of the 5 stages of grief. So those of you who may have taken psychology, you know the 5 stages of grief. Okay, you know it's anger. You know, when you lose, you know, you're not too happy. Okay, you can call people names. You say things that you sometimes didn't mean, because because you're angry. Okay, then you have denial, because you don't. I mean, that's the second stage of grief. You're in denial. You don't think that again, we're not calling anybody out, but these are the stages of grief. First, you're in denial, and you don't think what you're saying is real. It can't happen to me. There's no way. It's rigged or something. Okay, so this is not a good way to deal with a loss. And then I think that time when we lose, we just have to pick up where we left off, and then as long as you know that you put up a good fight, and then you move on. So this is very important. I think right now we could say there's someone who's still in the first two stages is not even moving to the next three stages. So which is very uncalled for. So we'll definitely go into the other three some other time, but we have so much to discuss now. But I think it's like you playing a CD and it got stuck on the anger and denial. It didn't even jump into the rest of the five stages of grief. All right, now the transition, I believe it could have gone smoother, and this is what we expect from our elected officials. But President-elect Biden has been in politics for 47 years, so he has an encyclopedic knowledge when it comes to government program and how the government works. So although we're in a crisis right now, you would want him to have a jump start with his program for the a stimulus. I'm sure those of you probably thinking about stimulus. There's a stimulus in the package. In other words, we need to get a stimulus on that. Very important. And then we also have to keep in mind that there's also the idea that if Mr. Biden were to start doing it solo, but he won't get much done because you would only know what's at the surface, but you're not getting the whole thing really. But I think it's very important that sooner or later the administration comes into an agreement with the incoming administration so they can share information, which is very critical for moving forward. Because I think America is a big country. It's a huge country, and there's a lot of issues right now. We have an economical issue. We have the COVID issue right now. There's got to be whoever's going to run this administration should be hit the ground running. It's very important that we keep those in mind. And then I still believe in America. I don't think there's going to be any coup. I think in politics we have strategy, and then some may use some strategy for their own advantage, but I still believe in the greatness of America. That as my dear friend here, Dr. Azor, who just said it, that he believed that one of the occupant right now is stuck in the denial stage. That's a good assessment on your part. Again, we can only hope that he passed that stage and hopefully come to the bargaining, and then and where we can negotiate. Well, what's the best way exit? Do I go to the back door? You let me know where do I go, and then hopefully at the end of the day, the American people win. This is what we want. This is what we want. We should be able to be in a position whereas we conduct ourselves as adults, and then knowing that as a public servant, we are simply an occupant of that position. So when time is up, on when our boss, the people, is our boss, when they said, well, we have enough of you, we just have to say, well, it was an honor to serve. It was an honor to represent the great state. If you're a governor, if you were the president of the United States, to serve the United States of America. And then if my time has come, if you don't think I did a good job after 4 years, you let me go. Then if I did a good job, you renew my contract for another 4 years, because it's a contract that you enter with the American people. And then one day when the people spoke just have to go with the flow. This is the state that we are right now. But at the end of the day, I believe everything will comes into there will be a sense of acceptance. Okay, put it this way, on the other party, either he may want to take the back exit, not showing up to the inauguration. But at the end of the day, Mr. Biden will be sworn by Justice John Roberts, Chief Justice John Roberts, on January 20th at 12 p.m. On that lovely day. It will be cold in Washington, but this will be the day. We just have to stay tuned, and hopefully there will be no hiccups in between, because we don't want any headaches as we're moving forward in that department. All right. Again, I'd like to run this by you. It's, as you know, next week is Thanksgiving week. We're very thankful for life. We're thankful for families, friends, those who've come in contact with us. But just remember the bigger picture. I'm sure all of you would love to be with family members and friends, and then tearing up this turkey. But think about it. There'll be a Thanksgiving next year as well. If you don't get to enjoy this year Thanksgiving for reasons that beyond us, with this COVID, the professionals in the medical field require that we try to minimize our gathering. I mean, they don't even think it's safe for family members to be congregate under one roof, because the numbers that we've seen uncharted territory. I mean, these are numbers that's mind blowing, because every day the number is surpassing the one before. So this is very alarming, and I would love for my viewers to stay loyal to this show on a regular basis every Monday, and sometime during the week, if there's a breaking news, if there's something that I believe that it's very important that I share with you. I enjoy your company. I look forward to seeing you on every Monday. This is something I made a commitment, and my job as a concerned citizen, as a public servant, and also as a humanist, is to take great care of my fellow citizen. I am my brother's keeper. This is who we are. We are brother's keepers. We need to look out for one another. I believe if you could, what I would suggest that you continue to wash your hands on a regular basis, and then practicing the 6 foot distancing. It's very important, because we don't know where this thing's going. All right. So this is my concern right now. So I really want to see you coming back on this, and then and just practicing that 6 foot distancing. And then if we don't celebrate Thanksgiving this year, but guess what? God's willing, we'll celebrate it next year with a bang. How's that? All right. I'm going to take some questions right now. I see the line is lit up. I got a few questions here. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. I have a question here from Rachel. She said, "What did I miss on the Obama 60 Minutes?" Okay. Well, the Obama 60 Minutes, we won't have time in the show to summarize it for you, but I think it was a great 60 minutes. You can go on YouTube and you just type President Obama 60 Minutes, and then you'll hear it in its entirety. It was a great interview, and it talks about his library that they're building, and the current state of the union. And he's I think I don't want to spill the beans, but again, I believe you should definitely put some time and then definitely watch it. It's an entirety. It's not long. It's a program called 60 Minutes, but it's not actually 60 minutes an interview. All right. So I think they each have a 15-minute segment. So 4 times 15 is 60. So definitely you should definitely watch it. Okay, I have another question here. Well, Trump doctor said do whatever we want. Well, okay. Well, I guess I'm pleading the fifth on this one. I'm not sure he's a doctor, but I know he's a businessman. I would definitely, if he tells me to invest in a stock, I'll definitely do that. But anything else he tells me, I would definitely go the other way. If he tells me today is Monday, I'll probably think it's Saturday. So, on this note, thank you. Any other questions? As the questions are coming in, I'd like to fill you in on important things that are coming up for the month of November. Again, we have the Thanksgiving, which is next week. I will be here with you on the 23rd, which is next Monday, which will be our last broadcast before Thanksgiving. All right. So we're going to make it extra special, and there'll be some surprises as well. So stay tuned. Tell a friend. And what I'd like to ask each one of you is to try to bring five friends or family members on board, and then when we come back the next time, you could say, "Hey, Robert DuVernay, I did have five people subscribe," and then you'll see 5, 10. Whoever has the most will definitely win an ultimate prize for the year. Again, we need to bring awareness on a host of issues, and I think the best way we can do that. Remember that this show here is not paid by any politician. It cannot sway us. We will present the case as we do not affiliate with any party whatsoever, because they do not pay this program here. But you, the people, you are my boss, and then my job is to present the case to you as it presents itself. So I encourage you to, and if you enjoy the show, if you enjoy our meeting on a regular basis, I encourage you to tell a friend, hey, the Robert DuVernay Show comes on every Monday at 8 p.m. You should definitely sign up on YouTube, and it's very important that we create that atmosphere where everybody can come in and have a good time and enjoy the show. Because I mean, when people talk, great things happen. That's exactly what we're doing right now. We exchanging ideas. We sharing things, and things that may seem to be blurry to some, and then we bring it on the table and then make light of it. So this is what we're here for, right? So, all right, Dr. Azor said earlier, let me see, anyone in Georgia, please register to vote. Early voting start December 14th for the runoff. Biden needs. And okay, in the Senate. Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, all right, thank you. Dr. Azor, she's apparently she's an advocate for the Democratic Party here in Georgia. She just broadcasted just now live. Dr. Azor just mentioned that there's a runoff in Georgia. You know that the election is not quite over yet. We do have a Senate runoff coming up, and early voting starts December 14th, which is less than a month. So that means the we're not yet up the woods yet. As you know, elections still going on, and I'm sure President-elect Biden will be in Georgia. Actually campaigning for these two Democrats, and also President Trump most likely will be in Georgia trying to secure these two seats for the Republican Party. I think this is a good debate to have. I mean, you're going to put your money where your mouth is. So definitely, I think we need that. We need to keep it at a level that it's enjoyable, that people can present the case to the American people. And then why should these two guys, why should we send two additional Democrats to the Senate, and why should we send two additional Republicans to the Senate? Because we're going to have a food fight. So I guess whoever make the best case ultimately will win the Senate seat, the two Senate seats that are currently vacant by the state of Georgia. Okay, well, just for the record, Dr. Izzo just said she just this year she advocated for a Democratic ticket just this time. So in other words, she must be having an epiphany, because I know she's really enthusiastic. She keeps us informed, abreast, as far as what's going on in Georgia, because we don't have any representative in the state of Georgia. But she has been one of our loyal viewer. We could always count on Dr. Azor to log in every Monday. She brings a lot of enthusiasm on the platform, and her sense of humor really sparked the show. So we thank you, Dr. Azor, for being an advocate for something that you deeply believe in. We hope that we find people of your caliber who share your passion, your vision, and also your dedication. I believe in when anytime you believe in a cause, the best way you could approach it is to share it with someone respectfully, and then you never know what may come out of it. So kudos to you, man. I applaud you for your great work in the state of Georgia. She's an independent. That's one issue always have an independent. Sometimes they sway a certain way, and then maybe they go with the wind. That's the beauty about being an independent, really. You do not pledge any allegiance to a particular party. Yet, if there are issues on a particular party that align with your core beliefs, and you tend to go with them without pledging allegiance or without being a fanatic, because we need to keep that in mind. Oftentimes, we become so blinded, we lose sight of what's at stake. It could be the world could be green, and because I'm a fanatic, because I'm a fan of yours, and to me it's white. You tell me it's white, I tell you it's white. But again, that's when you become blinded. But again, I love the. I am an independent thinker as well. You normally think outside the box. I think that's what we need in America. That people can actually think outside the box, without being persuaded, without being really out of line. Yeah, we can disagree without being disagreeable. So that's the beauty of being independent. You have a tendency to listen to others with empathy. You would take time, and then you always come up as a grown up in the room. The statement, okay, and that's a beauty. So kudos to you, my independent um, um, registered voter, and also I myself, I could say I'm also an NPA. No party affiliation. I'm an NPA. I'm also independent. I think we are there to help, and I'll also do not go with the status quo on a regular basis. So that's the beauty about being independent. All right. So on the last note, time is coming up for a wrap up. What I'd like to share with you just before we leave this evening is again, I always want to leave you with a lot of a piece of advice. Uh, these days, things are a bit murky, and try not to involve with even some family members. They may not show up to your place if you having Thanksgiving with them, and hopefully if you guys don't have a Thanksgiving, so you can do it virtual, or if you're gonna invite one or two friends over, you can spread them out, do it in open air, and then you guys still can have Thanksgiving, but do it cautiously. Do not discuss politics unless you do it like we do it at the Robert Duvernay show. See how we do it? We do it respectfully. We're not here to persuade anyone, but we're trying to stay above the fray. It's very important, because religion and politics, these are two things that you can create enemies. Like it's like gasoline and fire. They can in a second. So do not discuss politics with your coworkers, some friends who may be not in line with what you're saying, and oftentimes we have undercover in our mess. You don't know what they're thinking, and then they may be extremely passionate about a particular party or a particular individual, and that right there can get you in some hot water. So that's I really want to share that with you. Okay, thank you, Dr. Israel, for that thumbs up on great description of independent. Thank you. We need that. Thank you for this word of encouragement. We need that. That keeps us going. That really tells me there are people out there who are really paying attention to what we discuss here on this platform, and who look forward to it. And that's what gives life meaning, when we have people that we can share our views and ideas, and who may not always agree with us, but respect our point of view, or respect your opinion, respect your position. This is important. And this is what we need from our elected officials. These are guys who've gone to law school, or guys who have a career in criminal justice, and yet their deeds are telling me otherwise. All right. I know Dr. Hazel will come up with something at the end, which will definitely get me cracked up, and then she never fell, man, never fell. Well, you know what? Well, you know what? Just to be honest with you, if you don't think any trumpet should be there, but how about if someone play a trumpet? What do you call someone who play trumpets? What do you? I know someone who play a piano. You call them pianists. How about someone who play trumpet? What do you call them? So we can invite someone who play a trumpet to your Thanksgiving dinner, and then what would you call them? So I'm waiting for your answer. So I mean, we need that every so often. Thank you so much for brightening up this evening, Dr. Israel. It's 9 o'clock. We're gonna wrap the show right here, and we look forward to see you again next Monday. I'm sure there'll be more, but we have more to discuss with you. And again, do not forget to share the links with your friends, with your family members. Just grab the phone from them. Hey, let me borrow your phone. You have YouTube? Let me just put in Robert DeVerney. Boom. Just subscribe them. Help them out. That's help them out. I think that'll be a great thing. They'll be happy, and they'll be very pleased with the fact that they're getting information that is relevant to their curiosity, that they may have never thought was possible, that they would hear it in today's media. Again, we're using this medium to share good news, and at the same time keep our people informed. Again, it was a pleasure to be here with you this evening. I look forward for another show of this caliber, of this of this enthusiasm that we have on the show this evening. We have quite a few questions there, and quite a few suggestions as well. But again, you guys were very engaged this evening. I thank you, and I look forward to see you again next week, Monday. Again, if it's Monday, if it's 8 o'clock, it's the Robert DeVerney Show. Thank you, and have a